Good evening and welcome to the Planning Board meeting of Tuesday, May 17th. These are being recorded. I'll take a motion on the minutes. Motion by Joe, seconded by Lena. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. There are no 81Ps. We have an amended site plan, 20 Claflin Street, Blair House. The applicant requests amended site plan approval to allow for the expansion of the Blair House building on the subject premises. The Zoning Board of Appeals granted special permit approval at their May 12, 2016 meeting. The proposed building expansion located along the Cena Heller Way frontage will add floor area to accommodate the conversion of existing bedrooms to single bedrooms within the nursing home. There will be no increase in the number of beds. This expansion project is to be built in lieu of the previous expansion proposed and approved in June of 2015. The parking lot, the parking lot improvements to the rear of the property approved in 2015 will still be accomplished to increase the number of off-street spaces and improve the drainage and stormwater recharge for the lot. All applicable zoning requirements appear to be met. Therefore, Larry is recommending approval. From the town engineer, I have reviewed the submittal for the amended site plan for expansion to the adult daycare facility at 20 Claflin Street. The stormwater analysis shows that the post-construction stormwater flows to Cena Heller Way are less than the pre-construction flows. The majority of the rooftop and parking lot flows will be directed to the existing recharge basin closer to the North Bow Street. An additional recharge basin will collect from the flow from the new parking lot. I do not have any comments. The Highway Department mentions that the road was repaved in 2010. The road is in near perfect condition. It is his recommendation that the proposed gas trench and drain manhole installation be milled and paved curb to curb at least 20 feet past the drain manhole heading east at the lower parking lot, continuing across Claflin Street to the opposite curb.
I think it was 10 feet past.
The building commissioner has received the site plan. He only has one initial concern. The curb cuts leading from the accessory parking spaces do not appear to be compliant. However, there is not a lot of detail provided. It may be just a matter of drawing them properly because it appears that they can easily be constructed to be compliant. I will review other components when the construction documents are submitted. The water company, existing water services for house being raised will be abandoned at the main location on Cena Heller Way and inspected by Milford Water Company staff. Milford Water Company is an MADEP full compliant cross-connection company. All building water lines are subject to point of use cross-connection compliance per specifications. No irrigation system of any kind may be connected to the Milford Water Company, and Milford Water Company will perform a survey of facility at completion of construction. Commission on Disability, after receiving additional information about this project, the Milford Commission on Disability has no comments concerning the site plan. With that, it's all yours, Bob.
Thank you. So this is the plan that was approved in 2015. You can see they needed to get rid of the multi-bed units to get more single-bed units. They did not own this particular lot at the time. They did own these two lots that were here. So they wanted to go ahead with expansion. So we came before you with this particular proposal for a 4-story addition that was going to house some adult daycare, some expanded kitchen facility, and then multiple rooms that were going to be single rooms to allow these multiple bedrooms to convert to single rooms as well. Subsequently, they have purchased this lot, so now they own all the way to here from the whole street. So the proposal, they've redesigned the proposed addition, so now that it is going to connect to the existing building in this location here and then also in this location here. It's going to be 3 stories instead of 4. Generally, The area is not gonna be much different. I believe we were, 2,000 here, we're about, so about 8,000 square feet more. This is going to have access, there's gonna be a drop-off area for the adult daycare. Coming in off the Cena Way, there's gonna be a canopy here, you're gonna drop people off, there'll be elevators. And then you'll exit out this way, this will be a one-way. This area here, there's a very high ceiling in this portion, which is gonna be the loading for the kitchen products. So this is designed such that a truck can actually back in, unload, and then drive back out. We've got a proposed retaining wall here to create the grade change that we need, as well as over in here. There is an existing sewer main that runs through an easement. It used to be on the Andreola property. It runs right through here. We've subsequently, this sewer service is gonna be relocated and come out to this existing manhole here. And then what we will do is we will pick up the sewer service in a location that allows us to feed it into the building, but eliminate the two manholes that are here, because it's pretty much of a steep slope, a ledge cut in here. I'll have walkways. We're proposing the addition of a manhole within the existing drain line, which feeds this parking lot, which comes from this parking lot, and goes into the assisted living facility. When we designed that subsurface drainage in the assisted living facility, we were aware that there was gonna be some additional development here, so we added some capacity to that, and we've provided all the information that shows that what we're proposing here will not increase or alter the effects of that installation that's already constructed. This parking area was approved as part of this. We did not make any changes to this, and it's actually in the process of being constructed. They started working on it almost right away after this was approved by blasting ledge and creating a ledge face here and grading it off and leveling it off. So this is gonna continue to be constructed just as it was approved originally. As far as the comment letters, I think the building inspector is a little confused about the handicap accessible parking spaces. These that are shown here are existing. We're not proposing any new parking spaces in this particular plan, other than what, was previously approved in this area here. So we're not really proposing any new parking spaces. These were part of the original development you can see on this plan here. We agree with the water company that any service that we don't use from the existing houses will be capped off properly. And the highway department, we accept the fact that if you're gonna go in there with a gas trench all the way down here and then put this here, pretty much they're gonna be responsible for that whole road. So that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Bob. Questions from the board?
Yeah,
Babe?
you put a note in there about the grinding and the repaving for the road?
The milling.
Yeah, we can add it to the plan, I guess.
Anything else, babe? Lee?
No, it
Joe?
looks pretty good.
Pleasure of the board?
I'll move.
Motion made by Lena to, subject to Babe's additional comment about adding to the plan milling.
Have you,
Basically,
Seeing
what the
Cena
sewer,
Way has to be.
did we discuss
redone.
everything with the sewer, what you're gonna do?
I've been to the sewer department, yes.
I'm assuming from the 15 approval that
I
they
went to
were-
the sewer department before we thought we were gonna be on the last meeting, and I went to the sewer department, they were all set. They said there's no increased flows, because there's no increased beds. There's really
They're
no,
doing relocating some sewer, so.
yeah, but they showed that, and they had no issue. I'm surprised there wasn't a letter, because they were supposed to do a letter.
Yeah, I didn't get
But
it.
at that last meeting, in the first meeting they had in May, I was at that meeting, because I thought we needed it for the 12th. Not the 12th.
Sorry to interrupt.
3rd.
Does Larry have a letter from the sewer
He
department?
does not.
They still haven't sent it.
I did go
It'll
before the
probably
sewer
be there in the
board.
morning.
Motion made by Lena to accept the amended site plan, subject to adding
Note regarding Cena Halloway.
correct and receiving a letter from the sewer. Second by Babe. Any further discussion here or not? All in favor, opposed, unanimous. This one's you, Joe.
When I get that Mylar revised, I'll just drop it
Yeah,
off.
you call them in the morning. I'm gonna be gone Thursday and Friday. So if you can,
I'll do it tomorrow.
yeah,
They need to do the Cena Halloween.
And I'll check with Sue, check with John.
They have to mill and pave it the entire width.
I'm just gonna show, to just take it right out of,
nice plan.
right here. Mill and pave.
Well, the water-
curb to
where's the
curb.
water come in,
It's
though?
10 feet past the drain manhole, heading east. It's just, yeah, it's right there.
I don't know how. The fire inspector's gonna come through.
I was just thinking you're gonna end up having to do it as far as the water line, because they want you to cap it at the main.
I says, have you people any idea how much juice this guy?
You don't generally smile. It's all on you, Joe.
Well, give them a minute.
Site plan waiver for 4 Industrial Road, Craft Roots Brewery LLC. I'll read Larry's letter into the record. Applicant requests waiver of site plan to allow for a change of use on the subject premises. Proposal is to occupy 6,000 of the 20,000 square foot industrial building with a brewery. The proposed brewery will contain 3,500 square feet of warehouse and production area and 1,400 square feet of tasting area. The balance of the area will be occupied by restrooms, a small 363 square foot retail area, as well as a 220 square foot office. The parking lot will be restriped to provide for 2 handicapped accessible spaces. There are to be internal alterations only, with no additions to the building being proposed. All applicable zoning requirements appear to be met, therefore I recommend approval of site plan waiver. Fire department had no comment on the request for waiver. Building department has met with the owner to discuss the proposed brewery tasting room at 4 Industrial Way, don't have any concerns with the proposed use. Water company sees no conflict or issues posed to the existing water utility infrastructure, approves as submitted, and that was what we have for comments.
Late today, I got a favorable comment from highway surveyor.
Okay. So the highway surveyor has also had a favorable recommendation. With that, I'll turn it over to the applicant.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Ernie Pettinari. I'm a lawyer here in Milford. My office is at 12 Main Street. And I'm here tonight with Maureen and Robin Fabry. Maureen is the brewer and the principal of Craft Roots Brewing. And about a week, well, just a little over a week ago yesterday, we had a successful evening before the Board of Selectmen at which Craft Roots was granted a farmer brewer permit to pour product manufactured by them in their brewery operation. And that license is attached to the 4 Industrial Road premises that we're here to talk about this evening. They're leasing the bays that are shown on the left, the front end of the site plan that's up on the wall there. And they're still in the process of negotiating that lease, but obviously they've been given the due diligence period to secure the necessary permits, including the pouring license and also the site plan waiver. They propose to move into the premises and to occupy 6,000 square feet, most of which will be dedicated for their manufacture and production, and then a smaller portion of that will be for a tasting room, which is why they needed the license. A little bit about Craft Roots. Craft Roots, Maureen and Robin have been engaged in the manufacture of beer at their home for a number of years, and they are now attempting and very anxious to get out into the community and to offer a full range of brewery product. Another thing about the pouring license, it entitles them to pour on the premises what they make. It's not a tavern, it's not a bar, it's not the kind of place that's gonna generate that kind of traffic. So it's literally a brewery with a tasting room attached, and they will be entitled to sell things that they brew there for consumption on the premises and also to take off the premises. It's really exciting. I have to tell you, on Friday of last week, I was somewhere and somebody recognized me from having been in front of the Board of Selectmen, and they mentioned how they had been at a public function where Maureen and Robin had been, and how they had tasted the product, and how they thought this was a really neat thing for the town of Milford. I second that. I think this is a really neat thing for the town of Milford, and I think it's really a major commitment to the community. It's a significant investment of time and talent and money, and we found through the help of Larry and also Rick Villani, premises that we believe are suitable for that. And we're here tonight to just ask your support and ask you to waive the requirement of the site plan because, as Larry has quite aptly put it, there is to be no changes to the building, just internal improvements.
Thank you.
All right.
Comments from the board?
Same thing with sewer, that we want to the sewer.
The sewer commission has been contacted, and there was no additional, there's only gonna be the 2 bathrooms in it that are there now. There's no additional demand on it.
It was my understanding that they just voted favorable tonight.
Okay, well, again, there's gonna be a demand because in the brewing section, there has to be washed down and all that, and
With the water, yep,
with the sediment and all that, that's,
yeah.
is-
Yeah, I think all that was addressed with the sewer. The sewer board apparently was favorable. That's
okay,
what I was informed
yeah, I
a little
get
bit ago.
you know, it doesn't sound.
And there is,
I don't know where the letter is either. Yeah.
there is recycling in terms of the use of the water. Yeah.
I worked in breweries, believe me, there's a lot of water that goes down.
Right. The tasting, will that be an open invitation for the people in the town to go in
Sure.
to
It'll be-
taste it?
it'll
Is
be
that
open to
how
the
that's
public.
gonna be working?
Yep, it'll be open to the public, and that's one of the reasons why the legislature has authorized the issuance of these kinds of licenses.
Okay.
It's for consumption on the premises of the product that's manufactured on the premises. But the answer is yes, people can just go and have a taste of the brew. The idea behind it, obviously, is to stimulate interest in the brewery itself, get
Of
people
course.
to come through and take a look at the operation and have a taste of the beer, but the answer is yes.
Okay. I'm all set here, Joe.
Pleasure of the board.
I'll make a motion, we grant the waiver upon Larry's receipt of the sewer.
Motion,
Sewer board's letter.
motion's been made to approve the waiver of site plan, subject to a letter from the sewer
I'll s-
department,
Second that.
seconded by Lena. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 3, 1 abstention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Andrew.
Good luck.
I don't know who you have, the builder or doing this, but, I would get a hold of Jim Daly. You can leave it, Larry. In town, this guy, you work with, used to be with me, this guy for Hackle Brewery. He knows breweries.
I was in the brewery, I was in Ireland.
Lena wants an email.
Milford's gonna be better.
Robin, Maureen, what Lena was telling you, she wants an email when your tastings are, that's what Lena was telling you. I know you don't always pick up on the
I was
subtleties.
just telling her, I went to the brewery. Ireland has a good brewery. Good luck.
All set?
Bye, Ernie.
Thank you. Let's see, we have an amended site plan, Accurate Auto Care. The applicant requests amended site plan approval to allow for the change of use from the prior use of a glass company to a new use as an auto repair garage. All auto-related uses require special permit approval from the ZBA. The ZBA granted special permit approval at their May 12, 2016 meeting. There are no physical changes being proposed to the site. The existing parking lot will remain unchanged except for the restriping of the parking spaces. There will be no additions to the existing building, and no sales of vehicles are being proposed. The storage trailers behind the building, however, have not been approved. All applicable zoning requirements appear to be met, therefore Larry is recommending approval of the amended site plan, subject to the relevant agent's comments, and subject to the 2 storage trailer behind the building being removed. The water company has no conflicts or issues. And that's the only letter I have.
Only one I got. Okay.
Pat Carrard from PMP Associates, representing
Peter Canilli, Michael Scanzella Jr. of Accurate Auto Care. They are in the process of purchasing the existing property at 191 Medway Road. As we talked about, they're not gonna do any construction on this site. The only thing proposed in this whole site plan is just a restriping of the parking lot, because there currently is no striping. So we are providing for 13 total spaces, including one van accessible handicap spot. I believe Larry did bring to my attention one of our conversations about the storage trailers. They were there, we located them when we did the survey, so that certainly falls into your purview. If they need to be removed, they need to be removed. Other than that, everything on this site plan, as I said, is existing, and there is no construction proposed, so. Any questions about this?
Thank you, sir.
Happy to answer for you.
Questions from the board?
What about those storage, what are they? Do they belong
They
to
need to be removed.
They belong to
They
the
need to be
current
removed, or they
owners.
have to go to the
current
ZBA?
owners?
Yeah, the storage trailers,
Yeah.
they've probably been there since the building was built back in 1997.
Are they gonna get rid of them?
Well, you have two options. Either you remove them, or you have to go back to the ZBA and get a special permit for them. Those are your two options.
Yeah, I was under the impression that they weren't gonna be purchased with the site.
Yes,
Yes,
we
they
were,
are.
we were hoping to
Yeah,
to
we
purchase
were
them
hoping to
with the site.
keep them.
Oh, well, you need to go back to the zoning board.
Then you're gonna have to go back to the ZBA.
And I don't have the decision, but there were some conditions from the zoning board, I believe. I don't know if you
I don't
presented
know,
the
you don't have the
ZBA.
decision.
I still
Yeah.
didn't get the decision from them, so my suggestion was.
We can
gonna-
certainly proceed, but we're gonna proceed absent of allowing those, and again, if you wanna do something in the future, then you're gonna have to go back to the ZBA. But questions from the board?
I don't, Larry, do you have something to say?
Well, I was just gonna suggest that you could have a general reference to requiring the conditions from the special permit be noted on the plan, along with the note requiring the removal of the storage trailers. That way you can sign the site plan and they can get on with the main proposal, which is to occupy the site, start their business, or to relocate their business, I mean.
Yeah, I think there's, what, 2 catch basins on the property?
Yes, there are 2 existing catch basins, one down in this corner of the parking lot, one down at this corner of the parking lot. They're both at the low points.
If those could be inspected to make sure there's hoods on them. Before, there wasn't a repair business, it's just a glass business, but now with vehicles there or something, that there could be a spill, and I wanna make sure that goes directly to the wetlands, so.
Okay. Yeah, these catch basins, they do, this one over here goes to this system. Over here, there is an actual manhole cover at grade for that system. This system over here, there is no cover grade on it. There is a pipe coming out of the catch basin to it, but certainly we can add water quality hoods. That's a low-cost item, easy to do.
Okay.
All set? Pleasure of the board.
Motion we approve the amended site plan, subject to the note being added that the 2 trailers be removed from the site.
And would you say the ZBA
ZBA,
decision?
decision.
Conditions, which I don't know what they were.
Yeah, I don't know what they were, but there were some.
Motion by Joe, seconded by Lena,
And the hooded catch basins.
And the hood catch basin,
subject to the ZBA conditions, the hooded catch basin covers, and
trailers being removed.
trailers being removed. Any further discussion? Hearing not, all in favor?
I do have a question.
Go right ahead.
Those trailers, I thought that they were purchasing the trailers along with the site. Am I incorrect in saying that?
Yes, we were, yeah, we.
So do they have to remove them, or,
They have to remove
They
them in
have to
order for us
remove
to
them.
approve them, because
They
today,
have to
because
remove-
we
okay.
can't approve them, they haven't gotten the okay to put them there by the ZBA, so we can't approve the
we
plan
can't,
otherwise.
okay.
If they want to keep them, they can file
They have to file
immediately
with the-
with the
with the
zoning board of
ZBA.
appeals.
Okay,
to-
all right, all right. I just want to make that clear, hear that clear. You understand that?
So we have to immediately apply with the ZBA
Well, if you wanna
in
keep
order
them.
to keep them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, what we'll do, Michael, is we'll make the changes, we'll add the notes onto the plan that they want, and then what you do is you take that plan and file it right back with ZBA with the request for allowing the trailers to remain as it should.
And we won't need any more, like, this plan will do for that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Thanks, Pat.
No problem. All in favor?
Aye,
Opposed? Unanimous.
thank you.
When you get the changes, bring the
Peter?
Mylar down, and then I'll
Peter?
call Pat and
Mike.
sign it.
You, Peter?
Peter,
Peter,
you
yes.
email me the decision
Can you come here for a
from
minute?
the zoning board, once you get that.
This came back soon. Would you want me to
Yeah, they
mail
should be
these
getting
to
it. I haven't gotten it
That's
yet.
where we are right
Yes,
now.
I'll
He's
get
basically-
Will you get the mail there now?
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Okay, that one you can have, and I'll
Yeah.
mail that to, today's I'll
I
mail
don't think there
that.
was much that they put on it.
No.
I watched.
All set.
watched
Thank you.
Okay.
Snows out.
Thanks.
Okay. Good
Any
night.
other business?
It's just signing these.
Take a motion from Dave, second by Lena to adjourn. Thank
All
you.
right.
What?
Could we help you?
Well, I would like to speak with the board.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't know whether Larry got my email requesting to be put on the agenda or not.
When did you send it?
May 12th.
I haven't seen anything. This about the vehicle storage on the streets?
Well, about section 2.3
This is the guy.
zoning bylaws, accessory use.
sure, come up. Again, we're at a disadvantage because we have no idea
What you're talking about?
what you're referring to, but
My name is Richard Morrison, 47 South Bow Street.
What street?
South
South
Bow.
Bow.
South Bow.
And I'm interested in beginning a conversation about section 2.3 of the zoning bylaws, accessory uses, off-street parking, 2 non-commercial vehicles per dwelling unit, 1 commercial vehicle not over 1.5 ton. Over the past couple of months, I've had conversations with John Erickson and with Larry about this particular bylaw. It came to my attention because up the street from me, this vehicle has taken up residence at 38 South Bow Street, this top picture. And my impression was that this was a vehicle too large to be parked in a residential area. So I spoke with John and with Larry about what we could do about this. And apparently the current bylaw allows this. What you see in the background, the dark area behind this white truck, is in fact a dump truck. John assured me that both these vehicles are under 1.5 tons. I tried to determine with him whether that was gross vehicle weight, chassis weight. It's undetermined, given the existing bylaw. There's no way for me to verify whether or not either one of these vehicles is in fact over 1.5 tons. In addition, in the second photograph, bottom picture, is a dump truck parked at 32 Franklin Street, which is virtually in my backyard. And the top photograph does not have a dump truck in it, but it is 48 South Bow Street, directly across from my property. Also at 61 South Bow Street, there are ladder vans parked behind the building and a dump truck that I've frequently
can I
seen.
just interrupt you for
Sure.
1 second? I'm just slightly confused. And I can honestly tell you, looking at these photos, I can't tell you what the weight of any of these trucks are. But to that point, this is when you, in theory, would rely on the building commissioner. And I guess I'm slightly confused, if he's telling you that they're compliant, then wouldn't we conclude that we should go with what his assessment is, since that's his function and job?
Well, I agree. However, it leaves the rest of us without any. I asked John for some resource that I could look at. Manufacturer's resource, something online, something that would provide me with some information, and he told me it didn't exist. So my,
Move this along.
I think the comment probably is that the way the bylaw reads, I mean, I think we want the bylaw usable by everybody, and so perhaps we should look at the way the bylaw reads to try to clarify it as opposed to
It's possible
the way
that
it
it
is
needs to
now.
be better defined, but like, I'm just,
I think to try to move this along, I didn't realize Mr. Morrison was coming tonight. We had discussed potentially coming at some point when he had a proposal, a specific proposal or suggestion to amend the zoning bylaw to start addressing these issues better, and hopefully get the planning board's interest at least into hearing more about it, and we developed something over the summer to try to have an article for the fall town meeting warrant. So, now that you know generally what his concerns are, I guess.
well, I do have something in writing for suggestions on what we could begin to look at.
Well, I guess it would've been better for you to send it to me now, so I would've had it in their agenda packet, like a normal meeting item, and then they wouldn't
Well,
be
that's
at
what I
an odds with.
intended to do. and
Yeah, so
thought I had
let's
accomplished.
do it for the next meeting. That would be my suggestion, so you can have that ahead of time and take a look at it. And I'll have had a chance to review it and hopefully offer some comments. I think it's something
Yeah, I
that
think
needs to
there's
be
been-
addressed.
I think there's been multiple people that have had comment about that section of the bylaw in terms of, it is somewhat ambiguous, and I think John's probably one of the few that may have a handle on it, but it may even leave it up to interpretation by John, and I don't think
Right.
that's the position we want to put John in either.
Right.
It should be
Exactly.
cut and dry as to what we allow or don't allow, so, I mean, I don't have a problem with us looking at it going forward.
Yeah.
I just have a comment, Mr. Chairman.
sure.
You know, I live in the older section of Milford also, and I would look at this as a blight on my neighborhood, truthfully. And I can understand where he's coming from. If I had this in my neighborhood, I would do the same thing that he's doing. And I would look forward to him coming before us when he sends what he has to send to Larry and explain it to us. And also have John, maybe John could come and explain to us how he feels about it. I know the zoning laws are going to come before the town meeting on the 23rd, but
I certainly was not looking for any action for,
no, I know that. I just need to make that comment, so,
And
other
then
than that,
I can respect that, but on the same token, I think we have to look at this and understand certain people, the nature of their business or what they do for a profession requires them to bring home such a vehicle. And you can't take someone's livelihood away. So, I mean, there's a balance between structure and light, and that's my only comment. Because I gotta be frank with you, I have seen in my own neighborhood, tow trucks, which means that there's a tow truck operator, and he brings the tow truck home. I mean, am I to tell him he should change professions? I'm just saying, it's.
I know that, and I understand. I know the Chief O'Laughlin is also looking for spaces for people that have this kind of work. But by the same token, you know, when you got a whole neighborhood and you look at their neighborhood and you see more than one truck, I think he has a
Well, I
good
mean,
reason to come before us,
more
and
than
I
one
agree.
neighbor.
Well, I think there's a legitimate confusion in the way the current bylaw is written in terms of where it should apply. And one interpretation would not allow a multifamily dwelling to have each resident or each
Unit.
family unit have a vehicle on the property. And it only applies to either a single dwelling or a two-family dwelling, not multifamily dwellings. So just clarifying that is gonna get rid of the majority of this problem. Not all of it, there are other avenues, maybe it takes a general bylaw in addition to zoning, but that's the direction we were hoping to go in. I just didn't realize that you'd expect it to be on this. If I misunderstood, I apologize, but let's do it next time if
Okay.
it's okay with the board. and-
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So what's the day of the next meeting?
June
I
7th.
looked and-
June
June
7th.
7th.
June 7th, so you put me on the agenda for that?
Yep.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe, before you go, sign that.
You have you have copies of the bylaw, you may want to give them to Larry, make sure he has those before our meeting, what the change to the zoning bylaw would look like, if you have those, or ideas about that.
I will email them to you
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison.
We have to vote on adjournment.
Motion by, motion by Babe, seconded by Lena to adjourn. All in favor, opposed, unanimous.
Oh, that motion.